Good morning, folks. How we doing today? So, hey, I am getting ready for another hour of question and answers this Saturday at 8 o'clock. I look forward to doing those. It's a show completely dedicated to questions from the subscribers of One Rental at a Time. And there's one question I get consistently that I wanted to create a video for 5 to 10 minutes so that I can just save it and send it out because again I get this question usually multiple times a week, and it's usually from new investors who are looking to get started, feel like they found the secret decoder ring, and are excited. And that is something about, what do you think about the 1% rule? So first off, if you don't know what the 1% rule is simply math that says if you can buy a house for $100,000, you need to be able to rent it for at least $1,000 a month, hence the 1% rule. So if you rented it for $1,100, for example, it's greater than the 1% rule. This was a rule that became almost gospel in the bigger pockets arena back when I was writing a weekly blog post for them in 07, 08. It was a frequent topic of discussion. It is frankly, it's a cute rule, but it is so dangerous. It is utterly dangerous in practice in today's 2020 and beyond real estate market. So let's talk about the realities of the 1% rule. First and foremost, typically speaking, the 1% rule, if that is your guiding light, if that is your North Star, you are in most cases going to be guided to a part of the market that is simply harder to manage. Evictions are higher, turnover is higher, frankly, tenant selection is higher. The 1% rule, typically, not always, I mean, there are always exceptions, but the closer you get to, and if you exceed the 1% rule in many markets, without knowing it, you are investing in a part of town that if you had other criteria, you would probably avoid. And again, let's be clear. Let me grab a book. I wrote about the 1% rule as my guiding light in 2002. I gave it full credit for buying my first property. I bought Norris Drive for $107. It rented for $10.95, so just over the 1% rule. I know it feels like you have something when it's that easy. But in practice, I have seen it over and over again. It guides you to a part of town. It guides you to cities that are actually having population decrease versus population increase. It's a cute 5-minute kind of review, but it is very, very dangerous. It is also, to me, people who preach the 1% rule, you're being lazy. If you've watched this channel, the thing that I repeat probably most often is learn your market. I believe every market offers an average return, and your job's to find a better return. Your job's not to find the 1% rule. Again, that will take you to an area that you probably don't want to be in long term. And anything for me that takes you away from putting in the work is dangerous. 1% rule is sexy and people gravitate to it because it is easy and simplistic and they don't have to work. Real estate investing is real dollars, real wealth. Frankly, you should work. You need to look at your market every day, especially today, right? July 1st, we're starting the second half. The market's wonky. Record low supply, demand, interest rates. Are we going to have inflation? Are there eviction moratoriums? The market's noisy today. Don't be lulled into a sense of security that if you just do the 1% rule, you're going to find a diamond in the rough. You're probably going to find coal. Again, I really think the 1% rule, with just the chatter that I hear about it on this channel, is pretty dangerous. I don't know what's wrong with doing the work. I put together a course that documents what I do every day, how you learn a market, how you look. I put together a free 75-day hard challenge. If you don't have any money, take the challenge. There's a playlist here for you. The 1% rule is not the answer. It is simply not the answer. I believe the answer is, how hard is my money working? That's it. How hard is my money working? That allows me to compare a tiny little house with a big apartment building. It allows me to compare a turnkey unit with a fixer-upper. Because it's all about how hard your money is working. Let's see if I can do this real quick. I don't usually do these things ad hoc like this, but let's just try it. Yearly cash flow. One sec, I'll show you in a sec what I'm doing. Over cash invested, I guess. Sorry, I'm writing something down. This is the simple math. This is yearly cash flow, right? Rent minus all expenses times 12. That's yearly cash flow. Cash invested, that's the denominator. How much cash does it take? Is it a turnkey unit, so it's just down payment, closing costs? Is it a fixer-upper where it's down payment, closing cost, and make ready, right? What is it? And then yearly cash flow. That tells you how hard your money's working. The key in my course, which if you're new in real estate you need to take, is you get to do that you get to look at your market for 30, 60, 90 days, and then you find out what average is. If you find a bread and butter blue collar part of your market where it's maybe 60-40 owners versus renters, and you see that the average is 5.5%, that's awesome. Because now you know your goal is to find 6.5 or 7.5. It's really that simple. You as a real estate investor, you only need to say yes 4 times to change your financial future. But it takes work. It takes consistent work. Too many of you are looking for the easy way out. I suggest that the market that we're in today is very dangerous. Very dangerous. Record low supply, record low interest rates. You have what feels like a wave of demand coming and people are overpaying. It's time to be careful. It's not the time to do nothing though. You need to do your research. You need to spend July, August, September learning your market because it's going to change. The market today is different than January, and January was different than last summer. I'm not sure what else to say. But real estate investing can fundamentally change your life. Buy and hold is not sexy like flipping or wholesaling or anything like that. But if you can do it and you just get 4 rental properties, 30-year fixed rate, sub 4%, man, you're going to change your life as you go forward. So again, 1% rule is very dangerous. And it's very dangerous because it tries to make you feel comfortable. And tries to make you feel comfortable without knowing your market. I have known people in California who bought in other states and other cities because of the 1% rule. And let's just say it didn't work out well. They didn't learn their market. They didn't know they overpaid. They didn't know they invested in let's say a crime-ridden area. That's what you get when you're lazy. Please, if you take anything from this channel, do the work. Spend the next 30 or 45 days learning your market. Talk to people. Grow your network. Take the 75-day hard challenge. It's free. There's nothing in that costs money. If that's where you are, you don't have any money, but you have time, learn your market. And again, I tell you this with somebody with 20 years. The market as of today is very dangerous. The supply is so low. The demand appears, it could be artificial, but appears to be much higher than supply, at least below the jumbo. So it's the time to be careful. So in the end, I would throw the 1% rule out. If you're going to use it as I don't know what you would use it. I threw it out. All I want to know is how hard my cash is working. It's simply cash invested is the denominator, and yearly cash flow. And then lastly, some people ask, what happens if I get a negative number? Well, congratulations, you found an alligator. And if you don't know what an alligator is, get the book. Sorry, get close to the camera. I talk about it in here. I actually have a picture of it, but I don't know what page it's on. I should probably note that down, but anyways, I don't know where. Oh, there it is. No alligators. I actually took the time to put that on a t-shirt. I think I'm going to work out on that today. All right, everybody. 1% rule, bad, yield, good. Take care.